Today we're going to learn about correct hand position while playing the flute. The flute is kind of an unwieldy instrument. It's awkward because we hold it off to the side of our head, and balancing it can be really tricky. We want to make sure that we balance it correctly, one, so that we can hold it steady while we're playing so that our fingers can move quickly, and number two, that steadiness provides stability for tone. If the flute is kind of wobbling around while we're trying to play, then we can't get the right air over the embouchure hole and the tone is going to suffer. So correct hand position is really going to help with a lot of things. It's also really helpful for intonation. If the flute is wobbling around, then our intonation is going to be going up and down. So there are three main balance points while playing the flute. One is your lip plate on your lower lip. That provides a lot of balance. Two is in your left hand, right on your pointer finger, what I call your chair. Your flute rests right on your chair. And you want to make sure that the flute is resting on the chair at all times. I notice sometimes with students that their finger is wanting to be out here, which means that the flute isn't actually resting on anything. So that means that the flute can really slide a lot. So you want to make sure that it's really gripping right above the knuckle on the index finger in your left hand. And the third balance point is your right hand thumb. This one is the one that I find has the most issues with students. I tend to see the thumbs being out too far like this, which means that the flute tends to roll this way while playing. So that right hand thumb needs to be right underneath your right hand pointer finger. I happen to use something called a thumb port. This is called a Celexa thumb port, and I think it's really, really helpful for providing that stability. It goes right underneath the right hand pointer finger, and your flute can rest, or your finger can rest right on it. It provides a lot of stability in that right hand. If this right hand thumb is up this far, that means that these right hand fingers can be curved, which means they can move a whole lot faster. So the three balance points together equals very, very, very balanced flute so that we can play fast and we can play beautifully. Really provides a lot of stability. So 1, 2, and 3. One other thing I wanted to talk about today was a few common fingering mishaps that I see in a lot of junior high and high school band students. One is while playing mid D and mid E flat. You want to make sure that this left hand pointer finger stays up for those. When we're playing fast, it's not as big of a deal for this finger to stay down, but when we're sustaining those notes, this finger down adds kind of a muffled sound, and it also really affects the tuning on it. So if I play D with the pointer finger up, and then when I play with it down, really adds a really, like I said, a muffled sound to it, and the tuning really is affected by that. That's a common mistake I see. And then one other thing about fingerings, almost or a big chunk of the range on the flute from the low register to the high register requires no fingering changes. The changes happen in our lips and with the air. But once we get above high C sharp, this one, then the fingerings all change from D all the way up to high, high, high C. The fingerings are different from the lower register. So you want to watch out for that. Some students tend to want to play high D like the lower D and overblow and get the harmonic. It means it won't be as in tune. And it won't sound as clear. So a good rule of thumb, above high C sharp, there should be something that goes off in your head saying, oh, those fingerings have got to change. So there you go. Holding the flute in a balanced way, and just a few little fingering mishaps that tend to happen a lot.